a good old-fashioned New England showdown between Kip Diggs and Jose Rivera. 26-year-old Jose Rivera out of Worcester, Massachusetts, weighing in at 154.5 pounds. He has a professional record of 29-1-1 with 20 knockouts. And he'll be taking on, from Hyannis, Massachusetts, the local favorite, Kip Diggs. The 32-year-old Diggs weighing in at 154.5 pounds. He has a record of 30-4 with 22 knockouts. And the winner of this fight could be in line for a big payday, because guys like David Reed and Fernando Vargas need opponents in between their big bouts. And both of these men could be in line for an opportunity. The winner gets a chance to earn some big money somewhere down the line. Rivera and Kip Diggs. And Teddy, this is an emotionally charged crowd because of the Massachusetts robbery. Diggs is from Hyannis. Diggs has got to keep control, though, and not get too over-emotional early on.
Exactly. Not this kind of enthusiasm for a New England fight, maybe since Vinny Pazienza and Dana Rosenblatt. That's the kind of crowd following you have here.
Kip Diggs coming off of February 23rd loss in Mississippi to Lavelle Finger. Two of his losses to Tony Martin. A split decision loss, and he was knocked out by Martin back in 1996. He dominated the first 9 rounds, but then got caught, and that's the problem with Diggs. He has been knocked out twice. And Jose Rivera, El Gallo, the Rooster, born in Philadelphia, now fighting out of Worcester, Massachusetts, is not ranked in the top 15 in any of the major bodies, despite the fact that he's 29-1-1. He says lack of a promoter have hurt. He was scheduled to fight Fernando Vargas in August of last year, but he tore a tendon in his wrist. He needed surgery. Had a 14-month layoff. He's fought 3 times here in 1999 with a couple of wins. 3 wins, 1 by way of knockout. See the knockout ratio, 10 second-round knockouts for Rivera.
Of course, that surgery that you talk about for Rivera in the wrist was the left hand, the most important hand. This figures to be a solid fight, these two guys. Only time they lost is when they stepped up. Both guys, when they stepped up, they don't have great guys on their records, but when they stepped up, that's when they had problems.
The only loss for Rivera back in '96 in Connecticut, a 10-round split decision loss to Willie Wise.
Some people have said that Diggs is a little shot-worn. He's 32 years old. He's been stopped a couple times, been in tough fights, real game guy. You got to watch his legs, see if they look a little bit funny. If he starts to take a little bit of pressure, a little bit of punches. See if he has those old legs, Bob. Rivera, 26 years old. Don't have to worry about old legs there. Hasn't been in tough fights.
Every time Diggs comes even close to landing a punch, the crowd will roar. Obviously, fighting in his hometown. Owns a trucking company, Top Cat Trucking. Has a lot of people here from the company as well.
The funny thing here is that you see that Diggs taking a route of being able to box here. He wants to be the boxer, yet he's the bigger guy. You would think he would be pressing. He has a good left hook to the body. There he throws a nice right hand to the body. Good body puncher. But he's the one who's boxing. And the guy who's a smaller guy, who's been small in most of his fights, Jose Rivera. Well, he's going after him.
Diggs just missed with a left hand. Rivera pounds away with his left.
Maybe the size don't matter because Rivera's younger and fresher. He figures he's got a better chance if he presses the fight.
Rivera said, hey, I'm in good shape. The weight is not a problem as far as giving away weight. That Diggs is a little bit bigger, but it's not a problem for me.
Diggs' last 3 fights, 157 pounds twice and 159 pounds. Matter of fact, for Diggs, 20 of his 34 fights over 147 pounds, as high as 160. While Rivera, 18 of his 31 fights, 147 pounds or less, as low as 142. Rivera's a small guy. Not fighting like it, though. But it might change.
A left hand to the chin by Diggs scored. Rivera covering up his body. Rivera blocking most of those punches on the inside. Then he tries to open up with a left hand of his own. And there's the bell to end round number 1. And a very entertaining first round for Kip Diggs and Jose Rivera. Well, coming up tonight in our main event, we'll get a look at one of the talented young stars in the world of boxing. He's quick, he's fast, and he's strong. Zab Judah of Brooklyn, New York, undefeated at 20-0 with 15 knockouts, takes on veteran David Sample, another slick southpaw. That coming up in our main event. Glad you could join us for Friday Night Fights on the Deuce here in New England. Bob Papa along with Teddy Atlas. And Teddy, we're in New England, and New England will be a hotbed of sports for the rest of the week because the major leaguers are coming to town, Fenway Park, later on this week for the All-Star game, and we're getting a look at a guy who has the pedigree to be a star himself.
Yeah, you do. You got the All-Star game coming up, as you just said, next week. And you know that people just love to go to that All-Star game and get a peek at future Hall of Famers. Well, tonight, they might get a chance to get a peek at a future superstar in Zab Judah. And they're going to get a chance to see him against a real fast southpaw named David Sample. See how he fits with that. See how he handles a southpaw that has speed. Not quite like him, but close. This could be real interesting.
Well, Zab Judah is ranked #1 by the IBF. Hopes to have a title shot in November, but he has to get past David Sample tonight. Round number 2 underway between Kip Diggs and Jose Rivera in a very entertaining round number 1. We'll take a look at some punch numbers from that first round. Both men had some success. Diggs a bit busier and a bit more accurate. Teddy, now that you have that first round feeling out process done with, you know, the emotion, and now guys have to settle in to go to work. And a little push there from Diggs. If you are, first of all, in the Diggs camp, what do you like about round 1, and what are you looking to build upon as the fight goes on?
Well, first of all, I like the fact that he was trying to think in there. You could see he was thinking in there. He was taking advantage. He made an adjustment, Bob. He's a guy that's usually aggressive. He's been in a lot of wars. He's the bigger guy. But he didn't go out there and do what I expected, what most people, maybe even what Rivera expected. He didn't go right after him. He took advantage of Rivera coming at him, and he tried to box him. That's an experienced guy. That's a guy who's trying to take advantage and adjust to the situation a little bit. He saw that Rivera was walking in, maybe in his mind cooperating with him. He said, hey, I won't just clash with him. I'll try to box and pick up what he gives me. The only thing is he's getting caught pulling out boxing here.
If you're in the Rivera camp, how would you assess round 1, and what would you ask your fighter to do more of?
Well, I want to keep using that jab. Don't allow the guy to box. Cut the ring down. See, he's following the guy a little bit here. Want to cut the ring down. Use that jab. Don't allow the guy to counterpunch me. Use feints a little bit, make the guy make his move too soon, and definitely don't lay in front the way he is right now. Get off. If he is the smaller guy, Rivera, the younger guy, move those hands.
Left hand by Rivera scored, and a right. Diggs able to slide away from trouble.
Diggs has been in these kind of fights. This is looking like it's going to be a real barn burner. Let's remember now, Diggs has been in these kind of fights before. Rivera? No.
Diggs gets tagged as he tried covering up, and now he tries to answer back.
That was a PS6 brawl so far. See, right now, when Diggs is inside, you see Rivera leaning forward there, Bob? Diggs should look to throw an uppercut. See, he's throwing everything to the head. He should throw a throwaway punch to the head, and then the second punch, an uppercut. That's moving your man into a punch. You got to notice those things.
Well, blistering pace here in round number 2. This one was billed as a good old-fashioned New England war, and so far it is.
This is revolting.
What's the matter?
They're paying him for this.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Good? He can't even say the name of the product.
He can say it.
What are you talking about?
He's got a thick accent, you know,
Accent?
almost like European.
Hey, Ferret, let me hear you say Bud, nice and clear.
It sounded like Bud.
No, it sounded like...
I think your hearing's going, Louie.
Oh, right. Hey, Ferret, could you lay a little wise on us?
Smooth, like a pro.
Absolutely. What was I thinking?
Friday Night Fights on the Deuce is presented by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This Bud's for you. And by Quaker State for protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Gorgeous scene here on Cape Cod in New England. We're in Hyannis at the Melody Tent, and good action by Jose Rivera heading in round 2.
Yeah, well, one thing he's doing, he found a home for that right hand, so he doubled it up. If it works, keep using it. And here he's putting punches together, but he should be going to the body. You see those 3 punches, the follow-ups? They missed. The body, they wouldn't have missed.
Round number 3 underway in this scheduled 10-rounder. Kip Diggs and Jose Rivera. Some power shots in round number 2, and you see Rivera just digging in and unloading. Another man has been extremely effective with their jab. There's a jab from Rivera.
Rivera's not a big puncher. Either guy's a real big puncher, even though they got a good amount of knockouts. That comes from soft opposition. Their losses have been with better opposition, obviously. But I just see a little bit of oldness in the legs of Diggs. I'm not saying it's going to be blown out, because Rivera's not a big puncher, but if he puts them together, maybe you see a little bit of shakiness in the legs of Diggs. From reports I got to do a little scouting. A couple of the reports I got was Diggs had a tough time in the gym, Bob. He was in there with a couple guys that he really looked in spots a little worn out. But one thing that's not worn out, his experience and his heart.
And he is coming off that loss to Lavelle Finger.
And a different kind of fight in that fight. Lavelle Finger's a real cutie. Guy that hits and grabs, runs, stops, punches. Not a fight like this, where Rivera's right in front of you.
See, Diggs got a late start in the game. Started boxing at the age of 23. Liked the party, he said. Finally decided to get serious and gave boxing a try. Now, what about Diggs switching southpaw?
And first of all, he's a natural left-hander, Bob. So he feels comfortable with that. He feels his power hand is his left hand. He can use that. He's been in the gym with a lot of guys, so he's done it before, obviously. But it makes you think a little bit that early in the fight, maybe he has to change strategy. Maybe he has to switch up a little bit because he's having a problem. So it could work 2 ways. It could frustrate Rivera, or it could make Rivera say, hey, this guy needs trickery because I'm starting to get to him. But either way, it's the experience of Diggs that he pulls it out of his bag.
Uh-oh, cut on the right eyebrow of Rivera.
Yeah, in a real bad spot because that can flow right into the eye. Cut man's going to have to do a good job on that.
Right hand from Rivera over the top.
See that good right hand he snuck in there at that time? Should have came back with the hook. Rivera, that is. That time he did. It was a little late.
Dave Tenney handles the cuts in the Rivera camp.
Now, we've mentioned before that Rivera has never been in this kind of fight and never been cut in this kind of fight. Not in this kind of fight. See how he acts.
Well, very, very interesting bout between Rivera and Diggs through 3.
I'm a student, and I do a lot of research on the web. So what I wanted, what I really had to have, was a powerful desktop computer. Then someone told me about Dell. I got on the internet. Dell built a desktop just for me. This DirectWay actually costs less. Okay, so I don't always use it for research. Cool.
Discover this Dell Dimension XPS with the next generation Intel Pentium 3 processor at 450 megahertz for $47 a month. With applications optimized for the Pentium 3 processor, you get smoother, cooler, more realistic 3D graphics. Add in great audio, video, and a big monitor, and you can get more lifelike games and a rich internet experience. System also includes 2 games, fast, easy internet setup, and 24-hour tech support. This Dimension with Intel Pentium 3 processor at 450 megahertz, just $47 a month. Monthly payment for other systems vary.
I'd be lost without it. No doubt.
Be direct, Dell.
Well, cut along the right eye of Jose Rivera in round number 3. And the referee, Ed Fitzgerald, tells us it came from a punch.
He's been cut before back in '95 in a win in 6 rounds over Arturo Nina. Jose Rivera was cut, but it was over the left eye.
Rivera has outlanded Diggs 36-11 over the last 2 rounds after Diggs had a pretty good round number 1. Diggs blocked that left cross. Good right hand from Rivera.
He's found a home for that. He needs to come back with the left hook.
Hey, it seems to me that both of these guys make one mistake. They go straight back a lot.
Yeah, they do.
They've both been tagged for it.
One thing you don't want to do, especially with aggressive guys in front of you, is step straight back. You give an open door to your man, especially if he's aggressive, to walk right in without feeling the danger of getting hit. He knows you're backing on your heels. He can walk in and take some chances, and you're very susceptible.
Teddy has it 3-zip for Rivera. I give the first round to Diggs. I don't think you can argue with the last 2 rounds for Rivera. Now Diggs complaining of a headbutt.
You know,
he's cut.
You know, I was just about to say, Bob, I know you have to trust me on this. I was just about to say that I noticed yesterday when we were doing at the meetings, when we were doing the interviews, that Diggs has scar tissue over his left eye. A lot of scar tissue there.
I'll take your word on it.
Thank you.
Dr. James Morrison is the ringside physician. We'll look at the left eye. He's not going to stop it, is he?
That was an accidental headbutt.
Accidental headbutt.
Accidental headbutt.
Take a look at it here. The heads came together.
Come here, Kip.
It was as much Diggs leaning in as it was Rivera.
Yeah, Diggs was leaning forward with his head. His head was in front of his punch. That's a no-no. It's a no-no for a couple reasons. That's one. You get headbutted. The other reason is when your head's in front, you can get caught before your punch gets there. You put yourself in a position defensively where you can get hit. And you're in bad position offensively.
Accidental cut, they'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. Since 4 rounds are not complete, it would be a technical draw if this bout got stopped, but they let it continue.
We don't have to worry about it affecting Diggs. He has the mentality of a warrior. He came over to us and just voiced, hey, we got it, no problem.
Diggs trying to pressure Rivera, and despite the fact that his fans are cheering, he's really not doing much as far as landing.
Well, Rivera's doing a good job moving his head. So Diggs should be going to the body, like he just did there. The guy's moving his head, the body don't move. Go there. You have to notice that. Pick up on it. The one thing that's changed here, the dynamics changed a little bit. That cut can do a couple things. It can influence you in a way where it intimidates you, or it can motivate you. It can make you get a little desperate. Well, guess what? Obviously, Diggs is getting a little urgent here. You just have to wonder if he's going to punch himself out a little bit.
Well, fortunately for Diggs, not a lot of time left in the round as far as him having to survive it, as we take a bloodbath here at ringside. They are right above us. Both men are caught.
Rivera should get off the rope, especially away from us.
The referee now is stopping it again, and they're going to look at the cut again. The corner of Diggs saying, hey, don't worry about it.
Give me 1 round. Give me a chance. Give me 1 round. Come on.
We'd hate to see this thing get stopped. Because
Looks like they're thinking about stopping it, but you know the crowd's not going to be
Give me
happy.
1 round. Give me a chance for 1 round. He's doing his job. There's nothing wrong with that.
The corner there is trying to convince the doctor to let it go on. You can hear him.
Dr. Morrison taking a look.
Let him finish the round, Doc. All right.
I think they're going to let him finish the round.
I'll take care of that stuff. 1 round.
And Ed Fitzgerald says, play on. Both men cut.
It's definitely made Diggs go out and speed it up this round and win the first round, at least on my scorecard.
Barn burner between Rivera and Diggs. Back in a moment.
En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, gracias a nuestro Señor Jesucristo, el amor del Padre y la comunión del Espíritu Santo sea contigo, Marco, y también con tu calzado. Amén.
Muchas gracias, Padre, por su bendición.
Buena suerte.
He'll take care of it.
To the corner of Kip Diggs. His cut man is James Espadula.
Hey, rip that uppercut hook to the body, Kip. All right, Kip, hands high. Move to your right. Rip that uppercut. I want to get out of this.
So they will check the cuts again and go on. Now that we are past 4 rounds, the Diggs cut caused by an accidental clash of heads would result in the looking at the scorecards. The Rivera cut was from a punch in round 2. Now they're having a problem with the ring rope. Get that squared away and buttoned up, and the battle will rage on. Rivera landed 13 punches in the last round, 12 were power shots. But I like Diggs in the last round.
And I think that the cut, as crazy as it sounds, it helped him win that round because it definitely motivated him to speed his hands up, which he hadn't been doing in the last couple rounds.
Take a look at the punch numbers in round 4. You see that Rivera outlanded Diggs by 3. But Diggs landed the better shots, I would think.
We were talking earlier, the bigger guy is Diggs, but he's not fighting like the bigger guy. He's fighting on the outside more. But after that cut, that forced him to fight like the bigger guy, because that last round, he fought like the bigger guy inside, and he had good success. You wonder why he wouldn't continue that.
Well, Diggs got tagged there, and then he got pushed from behind by Rivera. I don't know if Diggs was complaining that he was butted again.
It looked like he was. It looked like the heads came together again, at least the way he turned away. Definitely his eye is open again, the left eye, and it's coming into his eye, which of course is giving him a problem seeing.
They've done a good job in the Rivera camp of stopping the bleeding in his cut, which was in the right eye. Good right hand and a left hand by Rivera.
And Diggs stood straight up instead of moving his head or tying up like he is there. And when you stand straight up and you try to block everything, the problem is the guy can put combinations together on you.
And Diggs said to the referee, "I can't see," I believe. I believe that's what he said, and the fight has been stopped.
See, the problem with that stop where we don't have to go to scorecards because of a cut. That stopped as though a guy voluntarily gives up, so Rivera would be the winner. Unless they're going to come up with something controversial here.
Now the Rivera camp celebrating. Diggs sort of nodding. He got nailed a couple of times. Then it looked like he turned to the referee and said, "I can't see." And referee Ed Fitzgerald is coming over to the commission table and explaining things as they work on the left eye of Diggs. I didn't think it was this. I mean, Teddy, it's obviously an ugly cut, but it's not like the eye was swollen.
And he hadn't dealt with it quite that long. Just the last round and a half. What he should have done, I know it's easier for me to say, being down here, I'm not taking the punches, but get back to the corner and maybe let the referee come to the corner, see that the cut's bad, tell the corner man to do a little, a little smart moves there. Don't stop the bleeding. Let the referee stop it. Then they go to the scorecards. He's got a chance to win.
I had it even through 4. Now you had it 3-1 for Rivera. Yeah, basically Diggs said to referee Ed Fitzgerald, "I can't see, that's it." Now he's complaining, accidental cut, but
in his mind, he might have thought by doing that they were going to stop it and go to the scorecard. That's what he might have thought. He's acting that way anyway.
Well, after 4 rounds, the rules state after 4 rounds, you go to the scorecards, and now we'll get all of the official particulars from our
Well, Bob, it shouldn't be if the fighter voluntarily gives up.
Sure.
Obviously, Rivera should not be penalized for that fight. I mean, for that move.
Right.
If Diggs gave up, then the fight is stopped, and of course, Rivera's the winner.
Hey, you can't turn to the ref and say, I can't see.
No, there's no pit stops here. You know, last night there were no timeouts in the sport. Plus, the referee calls timeout to look at the cut and bring the doctor on, which he did not do. Again, you would think that Diggs should have waited to get to the corner, maybe even let the cut man be a little smart, not stop it, and then let the referee come in and say, hey, that's a bad cut, I'm going to have to stop it. Then they go to the scorecard.
If we can get one of our cameras here, we got a whole thing going on with the referee, Ed Fitzgerald. And now the promoter is trying to say that he couldn't see because of the cut, but it doesn't matter. You're into the 5th round.
You have to deal with it. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. You have to deal with it. That's part of boxing.
They're trying to ask for a draw.
If he stopped the fight because of the cut, he goes to the floor.
Now the commission is saying if Rivera would have stopped the fight, that's one thing, but it's Diggs who said no more fighting.
The other guy walked away and he said, nobody said to him, I can't see because he said I can't see, and he turned around, walked away.
You hear the referee Ed Fitzgerald saying, I can't, he turned around and said, I can't see.
You can't quit on a cut like that.
And obviously the fight should be awarded to Rivera.
He quit. The bottom line is he quit. He turned and said, I couldn't see.
He made a choice. He made that choice. Again, an afterthought, of course, he should have went to the corner and let the referee stop it on the cut, but he didn't.
All right, the referee Ed Fitzgerald is saying he shouldn't have turned around and said, I can't see and I can't fight.
Exactly, that's what we're saying. He should have went back to the corner, maybe tell his cut man, hey, don't stop this cut. Let the referee come over, say, hey, that's bad, I gotta stop it. Then it goes to the scorecard. Then he has a chance to win the fight. When you quit during the process of the round, you have no chance to win the fight.
Uh-oh, now there's a fight in the corner. Another fight between the Rivera camp and somebody from the Diggs camp.
See, Bob, during moments like this, the commission should clear the ring out. Because obviously, there's a chance of emotion starting to boil over when this much time goes.
Well, you know what, Teddy, the problem here is, I'm going to tell you what the problem is right now. The local promoter, who probably has an interest in Diggs, is trying to lobby the commission saying that it should be stopped because of an accidental foul. The referee and the commission did the right thing and said Diggs quit. He loses, but the local promoter is trying to influence the commission and trying to state the fighter's case, and what happens is it's happening in the Rivera corner, and that's why you have the problem. The bottom line is the fighter said he couldn't go on, he loses, get everybody out of there, Rivera's the winner.
Exactly, there's nothing to debate.
And that's what the commission is doing. I credit the commission, they are doing the right thing. But the local promoter is trying to lobby a case with the commission right now. Not the time, not the place. Take a look at the end of the fight again. I don't know if we have natural sound on it, but you see Diggs. You can read his lips, basically. He gets tagged, and he turns to the referee, Ed Fitzgerald, and says, I can't see. He's getting hit, and he's saying, look, I can't see. Right there. He's trying to get the referee's attention. Now there's the clinch, and he'll go to Ed Fitzgerald and say, I can't see.
Now, he voluntarily stopped the fight.
Right.
Now, in his mind, he might have thought, because of the headbutt rule, that they were going to go to the scorecards. But obviously, he was wrong. He can't stop and go to the scorecards. The referee has to do that.
Right. The referee has to stop the fight. The fighter cannot go to the referee and say, I can't see. And then what's the referee supposed to do?
Joe Montana in the football game is going back to pass. Mud gets in his eye.
Another fight. Oh, this is giving boxing another black eye.
But, Bob, that's why the commission needs to clear people out of the ring. It's over with. It's over. Everybody get out. Get the security. Everybody out of the ring. No reason to be in the ring. Now you're going to get fans from one side or the other that are going to start to get emotional. Because you have a lot of backing in this fight. You have fans against each other from one side to the other side. And I think that is a fan trying to get up in the ring.
And the bottom line is that the commission was right. The referee was right. The commission was right. And the local promoters were trying to were trying to dissuade the commission with the decision. And it's the fighter's fault for quitting. And that's the bottom line.
Again,
Okay.
get everyone out of this ring here.
Yeah. All right. We are joined right now ringside by Kip Diggs, who got cut from a clash of heads in round number 3. Now, the rule is that after 4 rounds, on an accidental cut, you go to the scorecards. Kip, it looked like on our replay, you said to the referee, I can't see in that last exchange. Is that what happened?
Yes, but, okay, the referee told me if the blood started back up again, okay, the fight's going to be stopped. The blood was coming down my eyes so bad, okay, I said, I can't see. That's all I said. And he went like this. I didn't say, hey, quit the fight. But, you know, I would think that he would say, hey, either you got to finish the round or that's that. You know what I mean? I'm not quitting. I'll finish the round.
We know that you have all the heart in the world. We know that. Right. But when you say that, you have to understand that the referee is going to take that as you no longer want to go on.
But in the corner, okay, he told me that if the blood started back, and the doctor said, if the blood started back, we're stopping the fight. I said, hey, I can't see. It was an accidental headbutt, I know. Let's friggin' cut it up. Let's stitch it up. And let's resume this thing back again. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, but you do understand the ref's situation when a fighter turns to a referee and says, I can't see, so on and so forth.
I wasn't really thinking. Maybe I should have said, I'm bleeding again.
Maybe, because
maybe I should have said I'm bleeding again.
See, now here's the situation. You get tagged. We're going to show you the replay here. Now, you get tagged here. The blood's starting to flow, and Rivera nails you with a couple of combinations. You're kind of upright, and you're looking at the referee for help. It looks like you're looking at the referee, and now it looks like you say to the referee, I can't see.
I'm holding on. I was holding on to him.
Right.
I said I couldn't see. I just held on for a second. I said I couldn't see.
Now, what did you say to him right
I said
now?
I couldn't see. I said, because he told me, he did tell me in the ring, in the corner, if the blood started back up again, we're stopping the fight. I said I couldn't see. That's all. I didn't say I'm quitting.
Right, but
there is a difference. I mean, I didn't say, hey, I don't want to.
In your mind, there's a difference, but you're in the heat of the battle, and the job of the referee, of course, is to protect the fighter. If he says I can't see, in his mind, he thinks I have to stop this fight because he can't go on.
Because you did get tagged
but it was a headbutt.
No, I understand. What you should have done, I know it's easy in hindsight, but you should have got back to the corner, and then in the corner, when the referee came over, he could have stopped the fight. He could have said, that cut's too bad, I'm going to the scorecard. Do you think in hindsight that probably would have been a better move for you?
Yeah, I didn't know. You know, I just said I couldn't. I just said I couldn't see. I didn't say stop the fight. You know what I mean? I was sorry for sweating on you.
It's no problem.
But you have to understand, he was concerned because you did get tagged with a combination there.
He never hurt me. I never was hurt in this fight. I mean, it didn't even. I mean, yeah, he hit me with a good shot, but Jesus, I hit him with several good shots. I got headbutted, and that's the bottom line. It was a headbutt, not the punch.
Right. But you can understand
the kid doesn't hit hard at all.
Right, but I mean, you can understand the referee's position there.
The referee said to me in the corner that if it started back, and the doctor also said if the blood started back up again, then we're stopping the fight. I said, hey, I can't see. It was because of a headbutt. The only reason why I'm bleeding is because of headbutt. It wasn't because of a punch.
We showed the headbutt. We saw that earlier. All right,
so,
Kip. Well,
you know, I mean, I was handling the kid. I mean, he did hit me. I mean, I think the second round he came on a little bit, but come on, we know who was winning the fight. It was a little bit close, but I was still winning the fight.
All right, well, hopefully we'll get to do this again.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
All right, thank you very much for joining
All right,
us.
Kip.
All right, Kip Diggs, a little controversy. Jose Rivera is going to be awarded the win. Kip Diggs said, I was bleeding, I can't see. If you're the referee, you got to stop that fight. It's plain and simple. Those are the rules. Here's Brian and Max, guys.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, your official time, 1 minute and 38 seconds of the 5th round. Referee Dick Flaherty stops the contest. Your winner by technical knockout, El Gallo, Jose Antonio Rivera.
Opens up again, I'm going to... And see, that's not saying I refuse to fight. He's just saying I can't see. In other words, it's not a jump to say, it's not a reach to say the cut open. up, I'm bleeding again. Now you said you're going to stop the fight. The referee then, it's not like Diggs turned his back. He just held him. The referee waved off the fight, and in the event of an accidental headbutt, you're supposed to go to the cards. I think in this case, they should have gone to the scorecards, and I disagree with Bob and Teddy, I guess.
Well, I guess the thing with this, there's a lot of gray area involved in this. You can definitely see...
He could have handled it a better way.
Yes.
Diggs could have... There was a better way, but not that much better way. He could have turned and said, the cut's open again, instead of... I can't see, but it's almost the same thing.
Right. He didn't. Well, at one point he almost stopped fighting. It's a hard situation at this point, but you can definitely see Diggs' point. Anyway, we'll get back to Hyannis, and we'll talk more about this, I'm sure. Right now, programming note, you got ESPN Arena football coming your way. Rematch of last year's Arena Bowl championship. This is Sunday, 2 Eastern time. Again, Orlando and Tampa Bay. Tampa beat up Orlando. First meeting of the season was 63-37. They can score some points in Arena football. When we come back, of course, we'll get back to Hyannis and live action, but we'll also look at the Friday night fights of the month, the top contenders. We'll have that when we come back.
You're probably wondering how I got this bod. 100 collect calls a day with 1-800-CALL-ATT. It's always the same low rate. So I can do it all day and all night. Come spot me. 1-800-CALL-ATT. I feel good.
For the same low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Sears Giant Wall-to-Wall Tire Sale. Get incredible deals for whatever you drive. All brands, all sizes, all tires on sale. And with thousands in stock, we've got the right tire for you right now. Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
It's a termite stampede.
Fear not, my wood friends. There's a new sheriff in town.
The Orkin Man.
Yeah, it's roundup time.
Got termites? Call Orkin for a free inspection and guaranteed protection.
Honey! Bill!
Think we need a new ceiling fan?
Lowe's knows how to help.
With hundreds of fashionable top-quality fans.
Including the new 1999 models from names like Hunter and Harbor Breeze.
We can even have your fan installed for you.
So with Lowe's guaranteed everyday low prices, making your room beautiful is a breeze. When it comes to ceiling fans, Lowe's knows.
Is it your dream to make it to the big leagues with all the long ball hitters? It's easier than it looks. Just enter the ESPN Long Ball Sweepstakes presented by Century 21. And you could score a trip for 2 to the 2000 All-Star Week. Tune into this year's All-Star Week and watch the Century 21 Home Run Derby, July 12th at 8 on ESPN. Then call or log on with the player who hits the longest home run. ESPN's Long Ball Sweepstakes. Enter to win.
Don't try this with Gojo or Fast Orange. Only new Castrol Super Clean Hand Cleaner removes dirt and grease without water and without towels. Maybe those other cleaners should throw in the towel. New Super Clean Hand Cleaner.
You never know when a high-powered magnet might come in handy.
The critics are calling Wild Wild West the hippest, funniest action movie of the summer.
When you're right, you're right.
Wild Wild West, rated PG-13, now playing.
All right, back here on Friday Night Fights. We'll talk more about the fight that we just saw, try to clear up the confusion, tell you all about that. First, though, some news in the world of boxing. Of course, the Evander Holyfield-Lennox Lewis decision made worldwide headlines, a huge story. We saw here, right here on Friday Night Fights, that you can have awful decisions, probably right up there with that Eugenia Williams decision that can happen anytime. It happened right here on Friday Night Fights. Willie Hureen, Aristad Clayton, Lloyd Dennis of New Orleans. He's the judge that had it for Aristad Clayton, who is from Baker, Louisiana. The other two judges had it for Terry Smith and Joan Ortega, had it 118-109, 118-108 for Willie Hureen. Hureen, in almost everybody's opinion, won it clearly. Somehow it was a split decision. An absolutely horrible call in there. We put a call into the California State Athletic Commission. They told us that Lloyd Dennis would never again officiate in the state of California. The state of Louisiana had a hearing marked for Thursday. Dennis did not show up. They would try to reschedule the hearing. And Dennis had told the commission, get this, his view was obstructed and obscured by photographers. It's the Eugenia Williams defense. So at least now this guy won't be judging again in California. He should never judge again at all. Again, it goes beyond incompetence, Max.
Absolutely. It's just like Eugenia Williams. And let me tell you something about Lloyd Dennis. You know, they think just because the right guy got the decision in the fight, ultimately won, that no one's watching. Lloyd Dennis's card was a disgrace to himself, just like Eugenia Williams. They were equally disgraceful. Willie Horine won the fight almost every round, at least 10 out of 12 rounds, and he had at least one 10-8 round. You maybe be able to give him two 10-8 rounds. It's at least a 9 or 10-point win for Horine. 114-112, which was Dennis's absurd, disgraceful, disgusting card. It's really disgusting. Would have stunk on ice had it been for the right guy, but it was for the wrong guy. You just can't say enough bad things about Lloyd Dennis and his card, just like Eugenia Williams. And isn't it interesting that they both come up with the view is obstructed excuse, which is just a joke? I mean, how stupid do you think we are?
Absolutely ridiculous. And again, we'll follow up on this. It's important that you stay on these things, and still with the case with Holyfield and Lewis as well. It happened here. We've got to talk about it. Now here on Friday Night Fights, something we're bringing up. It's our fight of the month, and we go back, a little retrospective here. We go back to January for our fights of the month. Pick it up. We'll start off in January. This could be a fight of the year. I mean, overall, not just here on Friday Night Fights. Thomas Tate, Murky Sosa. Tate coming out on top. A sensational battle. That's the fight of the month for January. In February, Antonio Diaz with the stunning upset knockout of Mauro Lucero. That's for February. In March, saw a couple of great battles, actually, but the best one in New York City, women's fight. Denise Moraes and Sunya Inani. Inani won this bout, went toe-to-toe, outstanding fight, male or female. In April, Vernon Forrest made quick work of Steve Martinez. Well, it wasn't a real battle, but for Forrest, very, very impressive. This was a rematch in May of a fight previously that was, well, actually wasn't close. It was pretty much all Stefan Ouellet until Hilton stopped him in the late rounds. This time, all Davey Hilton. That in Canada, that's our fight of the month for May. And in June, this was a very good fight. A lot of people thought Esteban Cervantes won this fight. Vinny Pazienza got the decision. They went back and forth. Vinny Paz slowing down a little bit, still wants a world title shot. Kevin Rooney says he can beat Richie Woodhall, but he was lucky to get by Cervantes.
Yeah, Brian, Brian made the comment last week. We were talking off the air a little bit. He said, you know, before the fight started, this Cervantes, he's a big guy. He's been fighting cruiserweights and light heavyweights. This isn't the typical kind of smaller guy that Pazienza's been fighting. Maybe it'll be problems for Vinny, and it really was. I think by far the best fight we've had so far was Tate and Sosa.
We'll keep this up, keep up with the fights of the month. Now, time for the classic KO. We go back Tommy Hearns time, this time against Pepino Cuevas.
Oof. This is really what made people think that if the people who thought Tommy Hearns was going to beat Sugar Ray Leonard in their unification match, this was the fight that did it. One of the most devastating knockouts of all time. Cuevas was 10-0 with 10 knockouts in title defenses with a granite chin before Tommy Hearns fought him.
It's our classic KO. We go back August 2nd, 1980.
Trying to find a way to fend off this murderous punching challenger. Two dynamite rights and Cuevas crumbles to the canvas. The referee signals for the fight to continue, but the champion's cornermen have entered the ring to save their fighter from further punishment. Tommy Hearns becomes the new WBA welterweight champion.
Friday Night Fights Classic KOs is brought to you by new Speed Stick Ultimate.